When we picture ancient prophecies of the end of the world, the imagery is usually the same. We imagine galloping horses, flaming swords, mythical beasts, and divine lightning striking from the heavens. But look closely at the Jafr, an ancient collection of Islamic prophecies attributed to Imam Ali. Instead of mystical cavalry, the text describes the Mahdi arriving from the sky in something like silver, specifically vehicles that swim in the sky and pass like the passing of clouds. The text goes out of its way to state that the Mahdi will ride the air, not by magic, nor by an illusion of the eye. Instead, it says this flight is achieved through a knowledge known to those who preceded him. Ultimately, it describes a learned, mechanical process. This forces us to ask a difficult question. Are these simply poetic metaphors, or are we reading the frantic attempts of an ancient writer trying to describe modern mechanized warfare without having the vocabulary for it? Reframing these discussions as a linguistic translation problem, a 7th century witness articulating 21st century technology aligns the text with the specific mechanics of the modern military-industrial complex. The text speaks of the Mahdi riding a difficult cloud containing thunder and lightning and hurling fire and terrors. It outlines a massive logistical operation. To bypass traditional naval routes and conquer distant lands, forces are carried by what the manuscript calls domes flying in the air, transporting an army of 70,000 men. Words like flying domes and silver vehicles match the visual geometry of airborne infantry operations, troop helicopters, and heavy military transport planes. To someone who had never seen aluminum or jet engines, a C-17 Globemaster descending from the sky is exactly that, a giant silver dome roaring with thunder. The manuscript highlights the strategic advantage this provides. It notes that crossing vast intercontinental distances will take only 2 days and 2 nights, demonstrating a global reach previously thought impossible. By detailing precise travel times and the physical vehicles required for troop transport, the prophecy sketches out a structured, operational military campaign. If the author were inventing a divine miracle, the army would simply teleport. This brings us to the Valley of Megiddo, a location long associated with the final clash of empires. Here, the prophecy describes an intense standoff with Roman forces. The text states that the Romans will threaten to release a deadly death imprisoned in a strange bottle. It is a precise, unsettling description of a biological or chemical weapon payload. To counter this, the Mahdi threatens them with an ultimate weapon called the Screamer. The manuscript says it has the sound of an earthquake, and it erupts as a massive fire from the bowels of the earth. It describes a massive vertical ascent, flying very high in the sky, before rapidly descending to earth with a scorching fire that spares nothing. Alongside this earth-shattering weapon, the text describes tactical ground units, houses of iron pieces with windows and holes, throwing the distance of a mile. A house of iron with a window that shoots projectiles over a mile is the literal definition of mechanized artillery or a battle tank. These inflict localized damage, while the Screamer provides city-leveling destruction. The text moves from chemical containment to mechanized artillery fire, all the way up to an earth-shaking intercontinental ballistic missile. It maps the exact escalation protocols of a modern superpower conflict. With this staggering arsenal, the Mahdi's forces arrive at the gates of Rome, projecting immense power through a fleet of 400 ships and a sky filled with flying domes. Yet the climax of this siege involves no physical destruction at all. Instead, a Roman monk cross-references hidden scrolls with the arrivals at the gate and relinquishes control of the city without a shot fired. The capitulation happens because the ancient textual criteria are fulfilled, but also because the sheer scale of the technological display makes resistance unthinkable. This futuristic arsenal functions as a system of overwhelming deterrence. The threat of absolute destruction compels a psychological submission and a bloodless geopolitical surrender. This leaves us with a stark duality. The timeline in the Jafr demands a brutal, severe period of slaughter before any lasting peace is achieved. The ultimate promised state is a global system of justice, where the ruler is not harsh and humanity lives in total equality, a world where everyone is treated like Bilal bin Rabah, yearning for his justice. This ancient religious framework anticipates the logic of modern geopolitics. The concept that global peace rests upon the presence of an overwhelmingly destructive deterrent. Whether you read the Jafr as divine prophecy or an inexplicable premonition of mechanized warfare, it reveals a chilling truth. Humanity has successfully built the exact apocalyptic arsenal the ancients warned us about.